So to get this all out of the way, I only have two films that I would say were the worst of 2024, at least worst that I saw. And those two I just don't want to spend that much time on, because one of them I at least knew was going to be bad, and the other I thought could go either way. But that's not my worst experience, which is Joker Folie à Deux, or the Joker sequel. All I can say is that Joaquin Phoenix is good. Lady Gaga is certainly a standout for me. The musical choices were odd. The trial scenes, while I understand that you don't want to idolize somebody like Arthur Fleck, it almost feels like the antithesis of what the first film had set up. Even though I think they make it clear in the first film that this is not someone that you should be idolizing, I, along with other people, got the impression that Todd Phillips wanted to make sure that the general public didn't get the wrong impression the last time around. And while I think there might be some good ideas sprinkled throughout, it's handled in a way that just feels like it's done for shock value or just for the sake of doing something bold and original. Almost every decision in this film just feels wrong. And the way it ends with that guy, spoiler warning, who kills Arthur Fleck in the prison and slices up his face to give him scars similar to Heath Ledger's Joker. I usually don't get upset about fan service, but that was one of the few times where I went, are you serious right now? Come on! But in comparison to Madame Web, there was at least some gravitas in the former. This one, not at all. Coming from a studio that will literally put out anything just to keep the rights for its property, I mean, it's not exactly unheard of in the entertainment industry, but in the case of Sony, they make it so obvious. Not since 2015's Fan4Stick from 20th Century Fox has something been this egregious. Although I would say Madame Web is way, way better than Fan4Stick. I would say not by a whole lot. Maybe a fairly big margin, but that's about it. Dakota Johnson is just serviceable, and she has proven herself in other projects, so I know that she is a capable actress. But this having nothing to do with Spider-Man, another common problem that Venom has, or Kraven the Hunter, which I didn't even bother to see because I knew that it was just going to be the same old schlock, Morbius, and any other project that Sony might have up their sleeves. Madame Web was my breaking point with Sony handling Spider-Man. Their co-productions with Marvel, I will certainly go and watch them because I like Tom Holland and Marvel's involvement behind the camera, because there's at least some types of checks and balances over there. Here they have the free reign to do whatever they want, and all they do is get their hands in there so much to where the movie turns out to be a hot pile of garbage, or just not good. And for anyone who wants to absolve the filmmakers or creative people of any wrongdoing, I really don't think any of those people that were making it were even qualified for the job to begin with. No disrespect to the creative team, but they were clearly inexperienced and ill-prepared to deal with a studio that had that much control over them. As opposed to somebody like Marvel Studios, who hire people who know what they're doing and are willing to push back and say, hey, what about this or what about that? And Marvel most of the time does allow them to play in the sandbox on their own, while also keeping it in line with what they want to do. And even then, everybody says that Marvel has been blowing it as of late, since Endgame. Yet over here with Sony, it's so obvious that they only care about profit and nothing else. And everybody is so shocked that Sony is doing exactly what they, the audience, is accusing Marvel of doing. Oh, the irony and the hypocrisy. And you know what? The sun is shining through my bedroom window right now as I find the light back to talking about my favorites of the year. So God's light has shone upon me. So in any case, guys, thank you for watching this. Comment below and tell me what your worst of the year was, and stay tuned for my best of the year.